And now, BillyCBoxing.com presents Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down with Billy C. Here he is, Billy C.
Thank you, Jeremy C., producer and inventor of the Talking Boxing with Billy C. show. We're coming at you from the Billy C. studio in Lake George, New York. I'm Bill Calogero, and it's time for BillyCBoxing.com's Pro Boxing's Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down for today, August 10th in the year 2012. I got several thumbs up and only really one thumbs down today. Thumbs up goes to Clarissa Shields. That's right, she's bringing home the gold. We finally got a gold medal in the Olympics under boxing. She won 19-12 against Nadizhda Torlapova from Russia. It gives the U.S. the only gold medal for this year's Olympics in boxing. And I got to mention, the only other medal we got for boxing was from our flyweight female, Marlon Esparza. She won a bronze. The men, they got ugats. You know what ugats means? Nothing. They got nothing. We need to revamp our United States amateur boxing program for sure. I recommend that we hire Teddy Atlas. Give it to him right now. He's got 4 years to get him going. So thumbs up to Clarissa Shields. And we'll throw a little thumbs up to Esparza, too, for winning a bronze. Thumbs up to two really good matchups announced. First, Ricardo Nunez, he's 24-2 with 20 knockouts, against Marudi Muthani, who's 28-2 with 19 KOs. They're both fighting for the vacant IBF World Flyweight belt. That's taking place in Panama City on September 1st. And more importantly, for yet another quality World Boxing Federation title, the vacant World Welterweight title is on the line and will be fought for on August 17th between Jose Piston Lopez, who's 16-2 with a draw and 10 of his W's coming by knockout, against Jose Emilio Pereira, who's 21-3 with 13 knockouts. It's going to be taking place in Mexico. Hey, listen, man, this puts two young up-and-coming fighters who have been doing nothing but winning and looking good doing it against each other for their belt. I've told you guys that the WBF is on the upswing, and it clearly is, and this is just another indication of why it is. I believe that the WBF, in my opinion, will be in the top five, even in the beginning part of the top five, within the next 18 months or so. Just to remind everyone, the way I rank the top five, we're cutting it off at five. The top five sanctioning bodies right now, I have the WBO number one, I have the IBO number two, I have the IBF number three, I have the WBC number four, I have the WBA number five. I think they're the worst. And number six, just to give you an idea of them gaining ground, is the WBF. So they're about ready to crack the top five, and it'll be curious to see who I drop out of there. It's a good race all the time between the WBA and the WBC. So thumbs up to both of those matchups for the WBF and, of course, for the IBF as well. Thumbs up goes to the WBO and the Puerto Rican Boxing Commission for both of them reconsidering shortening Juanma Lopez's ban for his post-fight comments. Listen, man, I thought they came down too hard on this kid. He had just been knocked out pretty savagely by Orlando Salido. They stick a mic in front of his face, and of course his faculties weren't 100%, and he said something he regrets saying, hey, I probably would have said the same thing. I would have been just as pissed. I would have been more pissed off that my countrymen bailed on me the way not only his fans did, but also the Puerto Rican Boxing Commission. I don't think they put it in perspective of what it's like and what happens to you physically when you get knocked out, and to hold him responsible for making statements like he made moments after he basically sort of came back to his senses is ridiculous. A lot of post-fight write-ups we were told that Juanma Lopez didn't even remember saying anything, didn't even remember walking out of the ring. His last recollection of that fight was waking up kind of in the dressing room, and he had already conducted interviews, had pictures taken, and everything else. So I thought they overreacted, both the WBO and the the Puerto Rican Boxing Commission. And while we're at it, the referee was a real jerk about it, too. You know, every time Juanma, and that's the other thing, how many friggin' times did Juanma apologize for his comments? But every single time, the referee, it wasn't good enough for him. Oh, no, he's got to say this. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. You know what? I say ban him. I'd like to punch that referee in his face. You know, Juanma Lopez was nothing but good for the sport. Not that I'm a big fan, because I'm honestly not. But he was a nice guy. You know, he's just, I thought he was a good thing for the sport of boxing. And have everybody kick him while he's down just goes to show you how much bullies, in my opinion, hang around this sport. And that referee, we'll give him a spit on. We spit on that referee. So thumbs up to the WBO and the Puerto Rican Boxing Commission for giving some serious consideration about, reducing the length of Juanma Lopez's suspension. Now, I have one thumbs down today, and it goes to a guy that I have the utmost respect for, and I actually think he's going to go down in history as being the best promoter of all time, and of course I'm talking about Don King. The reason why I'm giving him a thumbs down today is because Don King doesn't know that it's over for him. It's ironic that we talk about fighters that don't know when to say when, and they continue on with their career, and that last image of the fighter is being totally beaten up, and you know, it's hard to get that out. It's easy to forget all the great times a fighter has when they fight on too long. One of the best short stories I've ever written and ever read, I should say, I didn't write it, was written by Jack London. That got me into the sport when I was a kid. It's called A Piece of Steak. I'll be glad to send it to you if you never read it. Email me, Billy@TalkinBoxing, TalkinBoxing.com. It's a story of youth versus age, but it puts boxing in perspective, and a lot of fighters should read that story because the truth of the matter is most fighters and athletes, for that matter, in any sport, never know when to say when. Michael Jordan is an example. My idol, Joe Namath, was an example. They all lingered their careers on way too long. Don King is ironically doing the same thing as a promoter as his own boxers did as fighters. This guy's lingering on too much as a promoter. To me, it's a sad day when fighters don't renegotiate with him and re-sign their contracts. It's a sad day when fighters sign a 3-year deal and fight a couple of times in those 3 years. It's a sad day when you watch a guy like Don King, who by far orchestrated the biggest money-making fights in the history of boxing, has gotten himself to a point where he's promoting club shows and he's got unknown fighters and he's still wearing that grungy dungaree jacket with all those flags. I mean, it's sad to see. It's almost as sad as seeing a fighter like Roy Jones Jr. get beat up by a marginal fighter. It's time for Don King to say it's over. Maybe move on to something else. I, for one, think he's left a permanent mark on the sport of boxing, and I certainly wouldn't want some of the younger people today looking at him as what he is today, because he's certainly a shell of himself. So I have to give a thumbs down to Don King, although it's kind of a regretful thumbs down. That concludes my thumbs up, thumbs down for today. We're done for the weekend, man. Yeah, we're going to take the weekend off. You take the weekend off, too. We'll see you back here Monday. Ciao, baby.